With Grand Pines Resort, and I'm going to do an informational video on using your pontoon boat. If you're staying on the Richardson Bay side, which is over by Powell's, you will exit the lake by traveling north. You always want to go travel towards the American flag on the point, and you'll see a red and green buoy there, and you'll stay between those two buoys to exit Richardson Bay and then to come back in. Okay, let's talk about starting your pontoon. The most important thing is, or one of the most important things, is that the boat is in neutral. Here it's in gear. If I go to try and start it, it will not turn over. If I put it into neutral, turn the key, it will start. Okay. The other thing that's very important is this safety clip. If this clip is off, this is the number one reason I get calls, is because the clip's not on. And if you listen, it beeps and just turns over. It will not start. As soon as I take the clip and put it back on, it will start. Now, not all of them will beep if that clip is off, but the biggest thing is if it just turns over and over and does not start, then your safety clip is not on. The other thing is, let's talk about power trim. This is to move your motor up and down. So I'm going to push the button up, and then we're going to move the camera in the back. You'll see how the motor's coming up. That is how you make your motor go up and down. If you're going up to a sandbar, you make that motor go up and down. If you're going underneath the bridge, I always tell people have it about a 45, which is about right there. So we're going to put that back down. So every boat has 10 boat cushions, and that's the maximum amount of occupancy that you can have on a pontoon. So underneath the front seats, we have life jackets, and then front seats, and then the side seat will have some. And then also we have a throw cushion, and every boat has to have one of these. We always keep this one close to the driver's seat. So that's another item that you want to have. We're going to talk a little bit about your canopy on your pontoon boat. If your pontoon does have a canopy, when you come in at night, you want to make sure that you put it down like this, and not necessarily like this boat here. You can leave it up during the day, but if storms come through and before you go to bed at night, you should put your canopy all the way down. Do a little discussion on putting your canopy up and putting it down. Not all the boats have canopies, but if they do, just want to make sure that you have two people when you're putting them up and down. It will be a lot easier. So you want someone on each side of the boat, and this we have up. We're going to start. You clip the front, then you clip the back, and then you fold it. Again, this is almost impossible to do with only one person. You want two people. Okay, and then you will lower it. And then this particular one has these little smaller clips that go in to hold it up. And then you have the canopy that's down. Now, if we want to put the canopy up, same thing. You want two people, one on each side. Pop the lower leg off first. Come forward. And again, almost impossible with one person. Come forward. Put the back legs in. And now we have the canopy up. Let's talk about gas. If you're on Little Round, you're not required to fill up the gas. We will fill the gas up. You won't be charged anything extra. But we will, when you do leave the resort, you'll see a charge on your credit card for the amount of gas that you used during the time while you stay there. If you do go on to the big round side and you do want to get gas, just past right when you go underneath the bridge is Round Lake Marina, and we'll take a ride over there and I'll show you the marina as well. But yeah, we do need you. We will be charging you for the gas when you use the boat. Okay, next we're going to talk about our props. And if I bring the motor all the way up and go ahead and look at the prop here, you're going to see that there's scratches and nicks and dings on it. Now, if you're going to be traveling on sandbars and going into Little Round, there's no way that you can avoid this. And it's understandable. That's normal wear and tear. You're not going to be charged for a prop. And when you get here, when you lift up your prop, they're going to look like they're wore, because that's normal wear and tear. We put new props on at the beginning of the season, and they are going to wear out through the season. We're not looking to charge you for every little scratch and ding and nick on the prop. Where we're going to have a conversation, or where there'll be a problem, is if you actually hit something, which means full power and you go into like Hinton Bay, those areas that I showed you, or all the 3 danger areas. Those are where you're going to have major damage. But just driving around, yeah, you're going to bump a rock, you're going to hit some sand. That's normal. That happens. And it's normally going to be at slow speeds. So again, when you look at your prop, it's not going to be shining white. It's going to have some wear and tear, and that's normal. Swim ladders, if all the pontoons have a ladder, they either have a ladder attached to the back. But if you do not have a ladder on the back of your pontoon, then you'll have one underneath your seat. If you go under your seat, you'll find a swim ladder, and it does have a buoy on it. And these ladders come over and they attach by the door, and you can see there's clips there that these hook onto. And you see there's little clips there so that you can get in and out of the boat if you need to. Talk about going in the Little Round. Now, I don't recommend going into Little Round Lake, especially if you're on the big round side. But if you're a fisherman and you want to go over there, I do understand that there are times that you want to go over there. And if you do it, I want to make sure you're safe doing it. So when you come over to Little Round, you want to make sure you stay on the left-hand side going in, and on the right-hand side coming out. That's very important. And it'll be the same thing when you go to get gas at the marina. Left in, right out. Okay, if we're coming from big round going on to the Little Round side, what's important is that you want to go down the center. You want to make sure that your captain seat is off to the right or off to the left coming back in, because you've got this beam. And I tell people you want to power trim up your motor just a little bit, not a lot, and you feather it going through the bridge. By feathering it means you just pop it in gear, you go to neutral, and you coast through. Now these bolts here is what everybody gets into trouble with. And the water is very low right now, so you can get underneath. But if you look back here, every year I get canopy tops that are damaged. And what happens is they snag on these bolts and they tear it off. So I want you guys to make sure that you pay attention to that, and that you're very safe going underneath there. You also don't want anybody sitting on the back seats. You want everybody on the sides, and you want to be able to get down on one knee if you can when the water is high. And again, if you're staying on big round, I would rather you not go under the bridge. But if you do, I want you to do it safely and make sure you do it the way I just did it. Thank you. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about white buoys again. So these say slow, no wake. You do not want to have a wake when you come by these. And then also consider white buoys as shallow danger areas on the lake. You want to stay away from these white buoys. Talking about the red and green buoys on the lake. You see a red buoy, there's usually a green buoy, and vice versa. Red and green stay between. This is as we're exiting Richardson Bay from the resort, going out on the big round. You see these 2 buoys, you always want to stay between them. Okay, this is the second most dangerous spot on the lake, and this is called Hinton Bay. Everybody likes to go here because it's one of the calmest bays on the lake on a windy day. Now you've got a series of white buoys here. And then again, if you see a red and green down there, that's the only way you can get in and out of this bay. I've had various people damage their boats out in this bay, even homeowners that own properties come through here and they see the buoys and they say, oh, there's 2 white buoys. They think they're no wake buoys, because again, the white buoy is confusing between a no wake and a hazard. If you look at these white buoys, they say rock. And if you were to go through here, you would completely damage your boat. And I will drive up here and show you exactly how shallow it is. talk about the third most dangerous spot on the lake. This would be called, I call it Schoolhouse Bay. It's on the north end. And again, you've got the white buoys. People think that's a no wake zone. Extremely shallow. If you go between those buoys, you will just damage or even destroy your boat. Red and green, stay between. These are the only two areas or two buoys that you can go in between to go into Schoolhouse and to come out. Very weedy bay. Really no reason that you would need to go in there. But if you did, I just want you to be safe and make sure that you understand that. I'm going to talk about the third most dangerous spot on the lake, and I would recommend that you avoid it. We're in what's called Muskie Bay, and that's if you came out of Richardson Bay and you went to the right, and there's a little narrow area here, and that's called Mud Lake. And you can get into Mud Lake, but if you look, there's a white hazard buoy in there. It's also extremely weedy. So if you go in there in the middle of the summer, you're going to get weeds that are wrapped around your prop, and you're going to potentially have some problems. So I recommend staying out of there. And then just to the right of that is also another bay that a lot of people like to go to. And you can see the white buoys, and those are hazard buoys. So from the tip of that island to that last buoy there is all super shallow, and there's potential for wrecking the boat. So please stay out of that bay and Mud Lake. Talk about going out at night. It's highly recommended that you do not go out at night. All the boating accidents in northern Wisconsin usually happen after dark, and that's because people are having too much fun. They're having alcohol, and it's not that you're going to hit somebody, but I'm worried about somebody hitting you. So being that it's a rental boat, I recommend that you do not go out. If you're traveling in at dusk, you do have lights by the steering wheel. There's a nav light button. Turn your lights on. If you don't have a nav light, then I have manual lights that are battery operated, one on the front, one on the back that you have to turn on, and you can come in at dusk. But again, I please recommend that you do not go out on the lake at night. Thank you for watching this informational video. I hope you'll use it to help you be safe on the water. If you are on the lake and you have problems, you can always call me or text Mike Best 715-558-4014, or you can reach out to the Round Lake Marina, and we will do whatever we can to get you off the lake safely if you have any issues. Thank you.